Salvete! Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Latin with Stephen. This is a beginner's course and we're here on Unit 3 looking at Latin adjectives. And in the last video we introduced adjectives that follow the third declension pattern. So we had fortis, meaning brave or strong. We had tristis, which is sad. What else did we have? We had fidelis, faithful, loyal, and then audax, bold, mendax, lying, deceitful. So today I'm going to introduce a few more that follow this pattern, and we're also going to look at them in the plural. First of all, let's just recap the singular endings. So if we take fortis over here, meaning strong or brave, we can see that it follows the pattern of the third declension noun, with the exception that the ablative singular ends in e instead of e. Normally with the noun you're going to get e. So for instance with the gladiator, cum gladiatore, yeah, cum mercatore, but forti. But other than that it's pretty much the same. So we get fortis, fortem, fortis, forti, forti, fortis, fortem, fortis, forti, forti. If we took audax, bold, audacious, it's going to be audax, audacem. Remember that one gets a C in the middle. That will be indicated in the glossary or the dictionary. Audacem, audacis, audaci. Similarly, mendax, mendacem, ACEM, mendacis, mendaci. Right, let's have a look at the plural then. Well, this shouldn't surprise us too much. It follows the third declension pattern. So the good news is nominative through to accusative is all just es, ace, fortes. So the brave men, witty, fortes, nominative. I praise the brave men. Viros, the noun will change. Fortes, laudo. So it's the forte stays the same. So whether it's subject or object in the plural. All right. And again, this would also apply to female. The brave girls, puellae fortes, nominative. I praise the brave girls, accusative. Laudo, puellas fortes, the adjective stays the same. Puellas fortes, laudo. Pueros, the boys, fortes, laudo. Okay. Genitive, fortium. So most of the time with the third declension noun it's going to be sometimes eum, depends on the type of noun, whereas the adjective is more often eum, meaning of the brave or of the strong, blah blah blah. The armor of the strong gladiators, for instance. Dative and ablative, fortibus, no problems there, no surprises. So let's just rhyme that off. Fortes takes us to accusative. Fortium, of the brave. Fortibus, to or for the brave, dative. Fortibus, by, from, or with the brave, something. Fortes. Fortium, fortibus. Again, fortes. Fortium, fortibus. Let's do singular, then let's do plural. Fortis, fortem. Fortis, forti. Plural. Fortes. Fortium, fortibus. Again, singular, then plural. Fortis, fortem. Fortis, forti. Fortes. Fortium, fortibus. Alright, so just following the third declension noun pattern. Let's introduce a few new adjectives. So we've had tristis, fortis, fidelix, audax. Got a few more just to add to your collection. These all follow the third declension pattern, and I've given you the genitive singular form, the ending for that form in brackets in red. Ingens means huge. giant. The giant gladiator. Gladiator ingens. The giant lion. Leo ingens. And again, these ones stay the same whether it's masculine or feminine. So the huge, the huge woman, very, very tall, femina ingens. Alright, so there's no separate feminine form, which is quite handy for us. What would happen in the different cases? Well, the genitive singular was ingentis. Notice the T has come into play. Ingentis. What's the accusative singular going to be then? Ingentem. The T is going to come in all the other forms and in the plural. So it would go ingens, ingens, ingentem, ingentis, ingenti, ingenti, plural, ingentes, again T, tes, tes, ingentium, ingentibus, ingentibus. Alright? So it's only the nominative and vocative singular that stays like that without the T, then the T comes into play. Ingentem, ingentis, ingenti. Alright? And any verb, any noun, or adjective with ens or ans is always going to get that T. So whilst this might seem a little bit random, because it's new, once you become a bit more familiar, do more reading, come across these words, you'll soon understand the pattern. It'll be familiar to you. And many of these, when you see a new word ending in ens or ans, you'll just know it's going to be antem and entis. You know the pattern instantly. Alright? So don't worry. Nothing to worry about. Ingens, huge. Ferox, ferocious. Fierce. And notice, a bit like audax, mendax, we're going to replace the X with a C in the cases accusative onwards in the singular and all the way through the plural. So let's just do this one. Ferox, ferox, ferocem, C-E-M. Ferokis, feroki, feroki. Ferocase, C-E-S. Case, case. Ferocium, ferocibus, ferocibus. Alright? Amans, again, like that ens, ans, it's going to get a T in the genitive singular. Amans, we know the verb amo, amare, to love. Loving. A loving daughter. Filia amans. Of the loving daughter. Filiae amantis. I see the loving daughter. Filiam amantem. Video. Yeah? Amantis, genitive. Amantem, T, T. Amans. Sapiens. Sapiens is wise. Again, genitive sapientis. Accusative singular. Sapientem. Plural sapientes. Nominative, vocative, accusative. Sapiens. Homo sapiens. Prudence. Prudent can mean a few things in Latin. This far-seeing, smart, something like that. Judicious. We'll just take prudent for today's lesson. And illustris. We have the word illustrious. Luster, shining, shining bright. Therefore famous. Illustris. Vir illustris, the famous man. Homo illustris, famous person. Again, if it was female, femina illustris, famous woman, it's still the same. Because this one's already got the is, a bit like tristis, fortis, it's going to say identical in the genitive singular. The accusative singular will be illustrem. Plurals, illustres, 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 illustrium, illustribus, illustribus. Alright, so hopefully you're getting the pattern. So, ingens, huge. Ferox, ferocious, fierce. Amans, loving, from amare. Sapiens, wise. Are you sapiens, maybe? Prudence, hopefully you're that as well. Prudence, prudent. Illustris, don't know about that one. Famous, illustrious, alright? Okay, and all of these are going to follow the same ending patterns, and you just need to know sometimes they get a bit of a change, get a T or a C that comes into play. I'm going to read you a short passage that I've just invented. See if you can follow when I introduce some adjectives. After that, I'll let you have a go at translating a few sentences into Latin. All right, let me get my paper. Guys, see if you can follow. In arena sedemus. What's sedere? Sede or sede, sede. To sit. We're sitting in the arena. Emus, sedemus, plural. We sit, we are sitting. In arena sedemus. Come on, sit with me. Pretend you're there. Visualize. All right. Quid videmus in arena. Quid, question word. Quis is who? Quid, Q-U-I-D, is what? What do we see in the arena? In arena sedemus. Quid videmus in arena. What do we see? Leonem ingentem videmus. Videmus, we see. What do we see? Direct object. Leo, leonem, ingentem. Leonem ingentem videmus. Nunc gladiator illustris arenam intrat. Gladiator illustris. Gladiator hastam tenet. Hastam tenet. Galeamque portat. Hastam tenet, hasta. Galeamque portat. Portare, galea. On here. Gladiator leonem ingentem ferocemque videt. Quid facit gladiator. Remember that verb? Facio, facis, facit, to do. Quid facit. What's he do? Quid facit gladiator. Gladiator nunc timidus est. Hodie pugnare non vult. Timidus est. Pugnare non vult. Quod Leo ingens et ferox in arena hodie est. Gladiator subito, immediately, fugit et ad villam contendit. Gladiator fugit subito et ad villam contendit. Right, how did you do? Can always just rewind back a little bit. In arena sedemus, we're sitting in the arena. Quid videmus in arena? What do we see? Quid videmus videre. Leonem ingentem videmus, accusative. We see a huge lion. Nunc now gladiator illustris, a famous gladiator, arenam intrat, enters the arena. Hastam, from hasta, spear, tenet, tenacious, to hold, tenere. Galeamque, que means and a galea portat. Portare, like the porter is to carry. What's he carrying? Or maybe wearing? A galea, a helmet. A helmet. Gladiator leonem ingentem ferocemque videt. The gladiator sees a huge and ferocemque, ferocious lion. Quid facit. What's he do? What's he do now? Quid facit. Nunc timidus est. Now he's timid. Now he's shy all of a sudden. Not fortis, not brave. Hodie today pugnare non vult. Non vult, wants not. Pugnare, infinitive, to fight. Doesn't want to fight. Quod, because Leo ingens et ferox in arena est, because a lion, huge and ferocious, is in the arena. Subito, straight away, immediately. Subito, fugit, he flees. Et ad to, ad villam contended, he hastens, hurries to his house. He flees and hastens. Oh dear. Gladiator timidus, maybe we could say ignavus. Ignavus, meaning cowardly in this instance. It can mean cowardly or lazy. Ignavus non fortis. Alright, so just using a few of our words there in a little silly story of mine. Your turn to translate here now. What about, let's take this word, amans, nice adjective there. The loving mother. The loving mother praises her daughter. And remember, I've said before, with his, her, we often leave that word out in Latin, so you're just going to say the loving mother, daughter praises, typically putting the verb at the end. Doesn't always happen in Latin. It's something of a general trend or tendency, let's say that much. The loving mother praises the daughter. Mater, mother, mater, M-A-T-E-R. Amans, nominative. Mater, amans. Filiam, accusative, laudat. Mater, amans. Filiam, laudat. There's no reason why you couldn't also say filiam, mater, amans, laudat, putting the accusative right at the start. Quite common that in Latin. Quite normal. Filiam, mater, amans, laudat. It's the daughter that the loving mother praises. That's the way it's presented. What if we said the loving mother praises the loving daughter? So we had filiam, accusative, so we need the loving daughter. The daughter's attached. The loving's attached to the daughter, and so the adjective must agree, in which case it must also be accusative singular. Amantem. Amantem. So we've gone from amans to amantem. Mater amans. Filiam amantem laudat. Mater amans. Filiam amantem laudat. Well done. Great if you got that. Let's use this one. Wise, from sapiens, but in the plural. The wise matrons. The wise matrons sit in the atrium and they put the world to rights. But you're not going to translate that last bit. The wise matrons sit in the atrium. Atrium. In atrio, ablative. So matron, singular matrona, plural matronae, nominative, plural matronae. Sapien, we're not going to get T, plural sapientes. Matronae sapientes, the wise matrons. Matronae sapientes, in atrio, sedent. Remember NT for a plural verb. Sedent from sedere. Sit or are sitting in the atrium. Matronae sapientes, in atrio, sedent. The famous gladiators, nominative. The famous gladiators. Gladiatores, es. Illustres. So because the noun, gladiator, is third declension and the adjective is a third declension type, we have that ace, so they're both in harmony. Whereas before we had matronae, sapientes, I and ace, and that's because the sapiens is third declension type adjective and matrona is a first declension noun, so they belong to different categories, and that's why the endings they have different appearances and sounds, even though it is perfectly correct. But here, because they belong to the same declension, I've forgotten what I said, gladiatores, illustres, it seems to be all nice and matching. All right, so sometimes that happens if you're using the same declension. So, gladiatores illustres. Let's make it an accusative. We watch, using spectare, like the spectator. We watch the famous gladiators. Spectamus. Spectamus. Gladiatores illustres. And because they're both third declension, we know that it's ace for the nouns and the adjectives. So whether they're doing the action in the plural or they're receiving the action, it's still going to be ace. So if you just saw the two words and no other words on your paper, gladiatores illustres, it could mean the famous gladiators as a subject doing the action, or the famous gladiators are the object. We see them, we praise them, and you won't know that until you see the other parts of the sentence. If there's a nominative, the subject, and a verb taking a direct object, then it's got to be accusative. So you've got to analyse the rest of the sentence. So we watch the famous gladiators. Gladiatores illustres spectamus. If we go back to the nominative, the famous gladiators are fighting. Who's fighting? They're fighting, therefore it's subject nominative. It's still gladiatores illustres pugnant, in arena, pugnant. So it takes the same form, which is to say the same appearance and sound. That's just because that's how it works. Right, let's move on. Next one. We give the money to the famous gladiators. Oh yeah, we give the money to the famous gladiators. So the verb is giving, dare. Can you remember how to conjugate it? Do, das, dat. Damos, datis, dant. Again, do, das, dat. Damos, datis, dant. That's dare, and we had a similar verb, stare, to stand. Dare, stare. And stare goes sto, star, stat. Stamos, datis, dant. Dare, do, das, dat. Damos, datis, dant. Right, we give, or we are giving. Damos. Nos, we. Damos, but you don't need the nos. Damos, what are we giving? Money. It's a direct object. Accusative, pecuniam. To whom are we giving it? We're giving it to the famous gladiators. Well, giving to signifies dative case. Therefore, dative plural, we're going to have a ibus. Gladiatoribus is your noun. Illustribus is your adjective. Gladiatoribus illustribus. Pecuniam damus. Gladiatoribus illustribus. Pecuniam damus. Alright, we can do it that way round, or pecuniam gladiatoribus illustribus damus. Doesn't matter. Hope you're getting these. A couple more. The wise masters, using the noun dominus. The wise masters love their slaves. The wise masters love their slaves. We don't need to worry about the word there, just put love slaves. Who's doing the loving? The wise masters. Therefore the subject, therefore nominative. Dominus in the plural becomes domini with a letter I. Domini. Wise. Sapiens. Nominative plural. Sapientes. Domini sapientes. So domini is from dominus, which is an us word, which is second declension. And sapiens is a third declension type adjective, and that's why it's domini sapientes. They've got different endings, although it's perfectly correct. Domini sapientes love their slaves. Servos, accusative, amant. Domini sapientes. Servos amant. Domini sapientes. Servos amant. Always. Wise masters always love their slaves. Domini sapientes. Servos semper amant. Semper. Well done if you remember that one. Nice time word, nice adverb. Semper amant. And let's do one last one, guys. The money of the prudent merchants. Of the is genitive, isn't it? Belonging to. Of the prudent merchants is a genitive plural. So we've got a situation here. The money of, well, the money's just there, so it's a nominative, it's a subject. Pecunia. Pecunia. Mercatorum. Genitive plural for the noun is Prudentium. Because the adjective tends to get ium and not just The noun gets Mercatorum. Prudentium. Pecunia. Mercatorum prudentium. Mercatorum prudentium pecunia. The money of the prudent merchants is on the table. Pecunia. Mercatorum prudentium in mensa est. Mensa is table. All right. I'm counting the money of the prudent merchants. Money will become the accusative because it's the object. Numero. Pecuniam mercatorum prudentium. Pecuniam mercatorum prudentium numero. From numerare. Alright, I hope you managed to do those. There's no harm in going back, having another go at this. Take your time, pause it, think, maybe write them out. Just practicing with these endings. Let's just one more time practice our declension, singular then plural. So, fortis, fortem is your accusative. Fortis, forti, forti. Fortis, fortis, fortem. Fortis, forti, forti. Plural, please. Fortes, fortes, fortes. Fortium, fortibus, fortibus. Again, fortes, fortes, fortes. Fortium, fortibus, fortibus. Let's just take another one of these. Let's do prudence, prudence. And let's just decline it to make sure we know what we're doing. So, prudence, prudence, prudentem. The N has come into play. Prudentis, prudenti, prudenti. Prudentes, prudentes, prudentes. Prudentium, prudentibus, prudentibus. Okay, so vocabulary. Fortis, brave, strong. Ingens, huge. Leo ingens, huge lion. Ferox, ferocious, fierce. Amans, loving. Sapiens, wise. Prudence, prudent. And illustris, famous. So guys, that's it for today. So much for adjectives. I will just add those are for masculine and feminine. So I said it behaves the same for the masculine and the feminine. There's a little bit of difference if you're dealing with a neuter, and we'll come to those another time. But because we're mainly speaking about people, men and women and gladiators, etc., the neuter is not really appropriate. But I will talk a little bit about them at another time. So everything we've done here is pertaining to masculine and feminine nouns. All right. So these are third declension type. Well done. I hope this has been useful. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying following the course. I'll be back soon with the last couple of videos really for this third unit before I start on the fourth, all being well. So thanks for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you can like the video, please. Just trying to spread the word a little bit about this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please put a comment in, and I will see you very soon. Well, late day.